Hey man, ECA here. Today I thought I'd go through and show you my method for making 45 caliber bullets swaged out of 40 cal brass. That's right. That thing you just can't seem to get rid of. Every time you go to the range, they're everywhere. Pesky pieces of brass. We found another use for them. So here you can see just a little bit of the process. In the different stages, here are our brass after they're annealed, of course. Trimmed down to size. Right there. Different slugs stuck in there. This is one that has been already swaged a little bit. And then here's a finished product with the ogive formed in the tip form. See? There it is. Loaded 45. Magic? No. Just a little bit of ingenuity and a very long press handle. See that? We've got our rock chucker press, our RCBS here, and we've got a long handle that we've manufactured. Give us a little bit more leverage when you're working with these high pressures, swaging. Of course, slugs are pure lead, so not that much pressure there. And of course, we're going to be using not some $1,000 die set or even, you know, $1,200 or $1,300 die set. We're going to be using our good old 308 and 243 dies. I'm sure you guys have those everywhere. So, let's get started. I'll show you guys just about how we do this. When you see how simple it is, you're going to laugh. Believe me. So, first things first though, before we get going, just wanted to give a little disclaimer. And remember, you're dealing with high pressure and bullets. And if you are not comfortable with making these, or if you're a beginner or just a novice, find somebody who has a little more experience than you do and ask them if you have any questions. Because remember, this can kill you. Especially when you're pushing a slug that's not the right diameter down your bore, you know. And with 45s, you're looking at an average speed of between 8 to 900, 950 feet per second. That will ruin your day if it's too big, and it's not going to go down your bore. So, like I said, get some help if you need it. Of course, you're going to need your 308 wind die. The body die, just for that, and we already have it in the press. You're going to need your 243 full-length sizer die. This is what we're going to use to form the ogive on our bullet. Pretty neat, huh? You're going to need your slugs, which we cast it using Lyman 40 cal mold. This is, I think it's a 150 grain bullet right here. So let's just double check, shall we? We've always got our handy dandy electronic scale. Oh, 170 grain, sorry, 170 grain bullet. Match that up with our slug. Match it up with our brass that's already been annealed. These have been annealed, and you see the insides, stainless steel clean. You can see they're shiny. They've been in the oven for an hour, my electronic oven. They reached the size, and now they're soft. Perfectly annealed. So, what we're going to do is we match up. First thing we do is we trim our brass, as you can see here. If you look back on some of the videos I've done, I've showed you how to make a nice trim jig using your Harbor Freight mini tool. To that, we've belled the mouth of the case. You can see a little bit of a belling on that with a 44 mag belling die. And you're just belling it a little bit just so you can pop your slug in. And of course, the slug goes in base first. Okay? I like to put my slugs base first. So, after you've gotten all that set up, you've got your 308 full-length die with the decapper removed. And what's happening is you need lube, of course. You get your bullet lube, bullet wax, whatever you want to do. We make our own. This is store-bought, but I do have my own that I made, and I love it. Works great. Little lanolin, little beeswax. show you guys in another video how to make them. First thing you want to do, of course, is you want to match up your slugs to your brass. Use your scale here, and I'll show you. We got 231. I always go about 1 grain, just about 1 grain, half a grain heavier than you need, because what will happen is when you go to form the ogive, sometimes you'll get pieces that kind of pull up, and you can just kind of pull them right away. You'll get thin slivers of brass, of lead that pull up here, and you can just kind of knock them out. And that'll reduce your weight just a little bit. But like I said, I like doing 230 grains. That's what I shoot in all my, my 1911s and even the Glocks. 230 grains work. They've always worked. They're great. Why change it? So set up on the press. We've got the 308 full body length die. We've got our stem here, and this is from the 44 mag. So this is a .29 from a .29 sizer sizing kit, Lee sizing die. The stem on there because the bullet will sit perfectly right on top, just a bit recessed, so you can draw that right into the die. So after we got our slug mated up with our jacket, and remember, inside's got to be clean, and do not get any lube on the inside. You want to keep them as dry as possible. We get a little bit of our wax here, and we're going to make sure you do this generously. What will happen is it'll stick inside the die, and I'll show you what we do then. If you guys remember from the 44 mag bullets that we made, we have our handy dandy little piece of aluminum pipe that we're going to use to help punch out our slugs. So they're going to go in just like this. Give them a hand right here. Guide it inside the die. You can see we've got it upside down with the slug getting pushed in. And like I said, you're going to take a little bit of adjusting, finagling until you get it the way you want it. So now we're putting a lot of pressure on this. There we go. All the way down. Take your dead blow. Pop it out. See how nice that comes out? And you'll see it's starting to expand, which is very, very nice. We've got a little bit of a lip here forming. Oops. A little bit of a lip forming on the inside. See how nice and flat that got with those pressures? And of course, definitely take your calipers and we're going to measure. Now, we're exerting enormous amounts of stress on the brass here. And look, we are 5'1", almost to the base. Of course, the base is going to be a little bit rebated. We're 5'2", right down there. The base is going to be, won't get up that big, but we're at 5'1½", which is good. You can see, it looks like a bloated keg of beer. So, let's do that one more time just to give it just a little bit more, and we're putting a lot of force on there. I felt it that time kind of give up. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. The rebated rim right here almost makes it like a boat tail bullet. Very nice for loading. You really don't even have to bell your mouths. I love it. So, let's check this out here. Okay, we're good. We are at 5'2". So we're at 5'2", right below the base. This is nice, which is good. This is ready to go. Alright, let's do another one, since I've got a couple more here. So you guys take a look. Same thing. And now remember, this is just 40 cal brass. Average brass that we picked up off the floor at the range. We gave it a citric acid bath with stainless steel pins and a wet tumbler. And can't be anything easier. Now, you can see how much pressure I'm putting on this, and this is a piece of laminated oak board, plus this is like a 2-inch piece of 2x4 here, and plus I've got a steel plate underneath the desk, which this thing is bolted to. So you're giving, I mean, we're giving a lot of force here. See that? You can just see that flex. But like I said, the press, this RCBS will handle it. I know the Lee Load-All, I think, or not the Load-All, I'm sorry, the Lee O-Press. That will handle it too. The cast iron press. Basically, any cast iron press should do the job, and you won't have to worry about breaking anything. But if you look on The press over here on the RCBS has got huge beams. I mean, just huge pieces of support. You got this huge ram right here. Look at that. And I've got another RCBS. It's probably from the 50s on the other side that I use that strictly for pistol loading. And I don't think I'd use the force of the swage that we're doing here on that press. So I always come. The first couple ones that I do, I look. All right, we're 4.52, perfect. 4.51, clear, close to the base. This guy is ready to go. Once you get the feel for it, like I said, you got to finagle this a little bit, get it to where you can lock this die in, and then you'll knock these out like nothing. Spend the afternoon, load up, 100 rounds, do a cost analysis on them, and you will be shocked. You will be shocked at the price. Again, lots of lube. There we go. Lots of lube because you do not want these things sticking. One more thing. Don't worry. See how this one had a little bit of a crease on the... Well, I don't know if you could pick it up right there. That crease, don't even worry about it. That'll iron right out when we form our ogive. So, you could do it a couple times too. And what's the best thing about this stem that we're using here from the sizer die is it fits perfectly right inside where the slug is. And so, you see that? Let me show you. Sits beautifully right inside that. So all the pressure is being directed up onto the lead itself, the die, and not on the jacket. And of course, like I said, these are just homemade bullets. We're not pushing them past maybe 900 feet per second, if that, especially loading through a 45. So you'll get jacket separation. But you know what? It is really cheap. And I'll show you some of the... Here is a recovered bullet, jacket bullet from the 44 mag that we did. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? 40 Smith & Wesson. See that? Look at that. Beautiful. Isn't that cool? These things are sharp like a knife. So I've cut myself quite a few times on these. I just keep them around to show people that, you see that? You can see the rifling, and it's just the way it's split is awesome. I've got another one where the pressures actually pushed the primer popped it right out of the pocket. Kind of cool. So that was out of the 44 mag going about, I'd say about 1100 feet per second, 1150 feet per second we did. So just to give you an idea of some of the pressures. Well, we're done now with the swaging of the core into the body. What we do now is swap out, and we're using our 243 full-length sizer. Alright, so, and like I said, I've already messed around with this and found the size. The whole thing, the trick between sizing these things up is you want to make sure you don't give it too much pressure, because then what will happen is the neck will start to extrude up here in your die, and that's not what we want. You want a nice tapered ogive like you see over here. So this is loaded. I put 8 grains, I believe, 8 grains of accurate number 5. Fun to shoot. Very cheap to shoot, might I add. Because remember, all the cost, most of the cost is in your projectile and your powder. And of course, you can reuse your cases, but you can't reuse the powder, can't reuse the primer, you definitely can't reuse your bullet. But if you find your bullets at the range, you can find empty cases, pick them up. Even if you don't have a 40 cal, pick them up, because you know what? You never know what you're going to need them for. 40 cals are great. I'm going to do an annealing video coming up in the future to show you guys how we anneal our brass. Next thing, I like to put a nice thick coating of our wax on there. And what we're going to do here is we're going to form the ogive now, or the bullet nose. And like I said before, this has already been preset, just so, you know, in the essence of time, that way you guys don't watch me mess with it too much. There we go. So They're all lubed up, ready to go. And then they go up. Open end first. All the way down. And then I've got a different rod here that I'm using to punch out. Just because the opening's a little bit smaller. There you go. Look at that. You got yourself your bullet. There is your 45 slug. Beautiful. Let's see what we got here. We still retain our properties. 0.52. Yes, we are. We're 0.52. We're at 0.52 all the way down, baby. Very nice. 0.52. Now remember, we're not done yet. These are still got to be sized. Remember, like I was saying, you do not want to shoot these unsized. Let's just run through real quick and swage these. See how nice that fell out? Look. Beautiful. See? And then what we're going to do is, see, once you get this thing going, the production just kind of goes. I got the radio on sometimes, you know, get the satellite radio going. You just start listening to music, and you're good to go, man. You sit here, and an afternoon will fly by, and you load up a couple hundred of these rounds for pennies. Pennies on a dollar, man. So, like I said, during this whole debacle with the components and all that, our family here, our friends and family, we've been shooting like normal shit, shooting like never before. If that, we kept shooting, even through this whole thing. The whole thing. I was talking to one of the guys. Somebody sent me a text. Somebody sent me a message saying that you know, what good is making your own if you're not be able to get components. But the trick is not to be running around trying to buy everything at the last minute during a shortage. When stuff comes back, you load up. You know, when the supply is there, load up. Stock it, put it away. It's better than having a 401k. Let me just put it to you guys that way. So, alright, we're done over here. Let me move over. What we're going to do now is I'm going to show you guys when, well, we could do it right here. Next thing we're going to do is we have to size these. Don't ever shoot anything that you swage unsized, because you will end up in the hospital. Here we go. We got our 451. Because remember, there's always a 1/1000th of an inch spring back when you're sizing your own bullets. The properties of the brass make it that it'll spring back just 1/1000th of an inch. So put a little bit of lube. We got a nice little clean lube on our bullets here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to size these base first. And I do that so it kind of cleans up the tips a little bit. See how the tips, they kind of have that little bit of a kind of like unfinished look. If you size them tip first, you'll get a nice little finished look. There you go. Sizing them. And these guys now are at exactly 45 cal specs. And you can see how it kind of just pushes them down a little bit, give them a little bit of a finish, clean look. So, now our bullets are ready to load up. And with that rebated rim that we just did, and they load up excellently. If you guys out there, I know some of you guys have a canneler tool, you can put a canneler on these. You could chuck these back after you get a whole bunch of them made. Chuck them back into your brass case tumbler. You know, add a little bit of that new finish car wax in one of the other videos I was showing you, and you'll get beautiful looking bullets. Look at that. See? And I want to see the range master, you know, when you guys go out shooting, when they're in the back and they're pulling up these things like this after shooting at steel and stuff, going, what the heck are these guys shooting? Because I tell you, when you show this to people, you show these to non-shooters or even shooters sometimes that are not familiar with hand loading, they look at this and they're kind of eyeing, and you're like, what are you doing? Is this the bullet? Is this the whole round? And they're like, well, what kind of gun does this go to? So, like I said, you guys, ingenuity is the mother of invention, man. So, or mother of necessity. But here you go. This is our finished round. I already loaded it up. Beautiful looking round. We'll take them out and we'll shoot them sometime next week. So, again, hope you guys try this out. Hope you like it. I had a lot of people request doing the 45 ACP. We're also going to do some 357 bullets here coming up shortly. You guys, some 38 357 bullets. We can sway some jackets for those. But I wouldn't be, like on our 44, I wouldn't be I wouldn't hesitate at all shooting these. These are our 44 mags that we did. Shooting our 44 mags is as hard as we do. So you got to put a little cantilever on there. I wouldn't have any hesitation pushing these past 1,500 feet per second. I'm pretty sure they'll hold together. So going to 850 to 900, 950, something like that with the 45. These things, it's a no-brainer. Like I said before, if you guys have any questions, send me a message. Tell me what's on your minds. If you guys have any special requests. Just like I said before, this thing, the way we load them up, no special tools, everything that you have. You know, you got guys that they're a year behind because they're manufacturing swage tools for different calibers, and I think you can just do them yourself, depending on, you know, what other calibers you have in stock. If you guys have any questions, shoot us an email. Thanks for watching. Like I always say, go shooting. I mean, it's fun to sit around in the room here and, you know, make stuff up. But if you're not out there shooting and pulling the trigger, what's the use of it?